Good morning. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to the Mega Church of Joy. I am so joyful to be with you here today in my beautiful hot tub by the sea, where the proportion of my body relative to the size of the tub and the fact that it gets cut off in a straight line and you can see no water moving is besides the point. For if I am in the mind frame of accepting my reality, the reality that I am actually in this tub, well, I am on my way towards joy. Good morning and welcome. I love you. I hope you're feeling loved today. I hope you're feeling the embrace of the Mega Church of Joy as we endeavor to embrace fear, lessen His power over the choices we make in our lives, and find ways to connect to all of the humans. And sure, why not all the little animals and the buggies? Are we Jainist? I don't know. I mean, we are a non-secular spiritual pursuit with some allusions to Judeo-Christian traditions. But anyway, we want to connect with everything in the universe because we're vibing on that frequency, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're here, please type into the chat a suggestion of anything at all, and I will improvise it into spirituality and motivation. You can type suggestion : and then your suggestion in that space. Except don't write suggestion : and then your suggestion in that space. Linguistically, I'm saying suggestion : and then it's over, and then you type in your suggestion. Does that make any kind of sense? I'm Rev Deuce, and I created the Mega Church of Joy in 2014 after I tripped acid on the shores of Boca Raton, Florida, after my niece bought me an improv class because she thought I looked sad. And I was sad at that time. I was at rock bottom. I was selling seashells by the seashore to support my licorice addiction. And my dog had left me. My wife had run away. She ran away into the woods one day. I think she thought there was an earthquake. Never found her. I'd given up searching, honestly. Gave up after about 45 minutes. But the combination of doing that psychedelic chemical compound and learning that there was a world where people trained themselves to listen and to agree set me on a path to more regularly experience joy by having a healthier relationship with fear. Now, I can see that there is a cheeky little bugger in the show, watching the show, and they have yet to type in a suggestion of spirituality. So what we will do is we will move on to the daily dose. We like to say it every day because it gets us ready to start the day. So I'll put the daily dose into the chat. You'll be able to see that on the screen, and we'll read it together, you and me, person. Self, today I endeavor to be a better teammate than yesterday. I vow to step onto the stage of life, to keep it simple, to listen better, commit harder, and to give more expertly. It is my joyous burden to make those around me appear as rock stars, and to support the ideas of others. I will move past obstructions, drop insecurities, and put trust in myself and others. I will attempt to emotionally connect with whomever I meet. I say this in the spirit of best intentions. Yes, and. Will you attempt to emotionally connect with whomever you meet today? You know, when I say the daily dose in the morning, sometimes it goes in one ear and out the other. Sometimes it just comes straight out of my gut and out of my mouth and I never think about it again. But then later on in the day, I do find myself asking a follow-up question of someone, because I have spent the time in my morning priming myself to connect with others. For you see, in every moment in our lives, we are in a scene, just as the improvisational comedian at a theater is standing on a stage ready to engage in a scene. You don't show up at the theater and say, I'm going to stand on the sidelines the whole time. I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to commit to the reality that is before me, that I brought my body to. So when you are at work or with your friends, or especially with your family, sometimes we have estranged family members, sometimes we have a strained family relationship. But you know, that's no fun for anybody, all that bitterness, all that angst. And so we can make a decision to try and emotionally connect in every scene in life. And it could be as simple as saying, hey, did you have a good day yesterday? You could say, hey, was it worth it to go to the gym? You could say, hey now, I saw how you were supportive in the meeting and I was appreciative of that. You could say, hey, how is your life going? And if the person says, it's all right, you say, okay, is there anything, I'm always here to listen. And that's it. That's it. We are in control of our energy, and we are in control of whether or not we are engaging in the scene of life before us at any given moment and time. For we know on the Mega Church of Joy that it is in fact fear that controls us. Fear is our God, and fear is truly nothing but a dick, a playground bully whose only goal is to ruin our joy. And so once we work on our relationship with fear, once we realize that he is just a playground bully and he cannot hurt us, we can start to have a better relationship. One in which we name our fears, one in which we embrace our fears, and we use them as a tool to catapult us off into a space, a new space and time, a new reality for us, out of our ruts and patterns that keep us doing the same thing, keep us frustrated in life. Now, if you could just tap into the chat a suggestion of anything at all, I will improvise it into motivation and spirituality. That's right. You can type suggestion, : and then put your suggestion. Because I do see you. I see you. There's a little eyeball thing, right? And it tells me that eyeball maybe it represents only one of your eyeballs, because it's only one eyeball. Why wouldn't they have it be like two eyeballs just looking at you, and that would represent one person? Why don't they have a full human body? They just have an eyeball, don't they? Now, I guess everybody's too busy getting ready for work, or too busy, I don't know, maybe you're turned on by what I'm doing here and your hands are not free. That's all I'll say. Well, then I guess we'll just have to wait and get some spirituality suggestions another time. Hey, new viewer, if you are interested in hearing an improvised sermon, why don't you type a suggestion into the chat and I will improvise it into spirituality and motivation. But while we wait for everyone to follow the fear, to move past that obstruction and decide that they can enter a suggestion into the chat, I'll ask you, how are you going to give thanks today? You know, when we have an attitude of gratitude, if we just repeat things that we're thankful for over and over again for 5 minutes, well, our bodies would be absolutely buzzing. Because gratitude is like, you know, it's like watered down joy, right? And so it's like when you can't get the fix of hardcore, uncut joy, like right into your veins, gratitude is a good substitute. Gratitude is like the alcoholic who drinks mouthwash. Gratitude is the mouthwash of joy. So I'll tell you something I'm grateful for. I am grateful for quality footwear. There's nothing quite like wearing a pair of shoes that fits you really well, that allows you to make contact with the earth in a way that feels connected. What are you grateful for? Type it into the chat, please. Today, I encourage you to give the gift of listening. Listening does not cost any money at all. And, you know, there's someone named Brené Brown. Have you ever heard of Brené Brown? I heard of Brené Brown in therapy. And my therapist told me about how when someone is telling you what's going on with them, when they're telling you what they're afraid of or what's getting them down, you know, the yes but is not as powerful and is not as useful as the yes and. Okay, we have a suggestion in the chat. It is from YouTube, and I have not yet figured out how to get it into that little box down there. See that dumb little box? I also have yet to figure out how to make it transparent, but that's okay. I was in the middle of saying to Brené Brown, yes, when we just listen without saying, oh, I'm sorry you're going through that, but you're really good at it and you'll be okay. That's not pure listening. It's not. Pure, unadulterated listening is just saying yes. And that sounds hard. Yes. And I support you. Yes. And I'm here the next time you want to tell me about that. It is not yes and it will get better. It is not yes and you'll figure it out. No. Listening simply means going like this and then going, yes, I hear you. I hear that you are struggling. Yes, and I hear that you are in pain. Now let's get to the sermon of today. Today's sermon is Birkenstocks. Birkenstocks are a window into what it means to be connected to other humans. For you see, the history of the Birkenstock is interesting. In American culture, the Birkenstock is associated with a certain subset of culture. One could say the word crunchy. One could say the word granola. One could say the word hippie. One could say the word dirty hippie. And so what we understand about humans when we understand the Birkenstocks history is that there are cultures, and cultures are born of connection. Cultures are born of community. And so you see, the way that something like a Birkenstock achieves cultural saturation is that people pass it on from one to another. It is a gift that people give. And I'm not talking about, hey, happy Christmas, I got you a pair of Birkenstocks. No, no, no. What I am talking about is, hey, I am someone that you have an energy of affinity for. I am someone that you enjoy. And it just so happens that I wear Birkenstocks. And so I see that in my life. I see someone that I appreciate, someone that connects with me. Maybe they're a good listener. Maybe they support me. Maybe they bring to me a good energy. And I say, you know what? I'm going to get myself a pair of Birkenstocks because I enjoy this person's whole deal. I enjoy their whole deal. And then guess what? Before I know it, I too am wearing Birkenstocks. My cousin is wearing Birkenstocks. My dad is out there working on the tractor in little short shorts and Birkenstocks. Okay? And that is because as humans, we connect. We pay attention to each other. We listen and we tune in to each other's energies. And when we connect so deeply that we say, yes, I will garb myself as you are garbed. I will adopt a style that you have. We are doing nothing more than pushing past fear, right? Because we might be afraid, what if I get the Birkenstocks and then Carol is like, what are you trying to copy me? What is this, some single white female shit? If you've ever seen the movie from the 90s where one woman moves in and she's the roommate of another woman and then she cuts her hair the same exact way and starts wearing the same exact clothes. And I never saw the movie, but I think she kills her. That's what people are afraid of when they buy Birkenstocks, and because their friend already has them. But they do buy the Birkenstock because they are on the mega church of joy, and they know that it's okay to be afraid, and that on the other side of fear is the joy of a sandal that conforms to your foot over time, and very quickly you have a little bit of a footprint there. And the footprint in your Birkenstock is me carrying you. When you look back into your Birkenstock, the footprint was me all along carrying you. Yes, Jesus. Except Jesus is not part of this religion, but you get it. And I think we brought it home. Thank you so much for that sermon suggestion. I loved it. I don't have my coffee. Oh my God. Hey, will you just sit here for 1 second? I need to get my coffee. I have a BRB scene. I just sounded like RFK for just 1 second. I had a BRB scene. Hold on, I'll BRB. Don't go away. We have just a little bit more to do today to have a beautiful day. Just listen to the beautiful sounds. Here, I'll turn them up. Oh, Mo, I love you so much. Oh, thank God. Oh, did you hear that internal burp? I will always carry you. Oh no, that music has faded. New music, please. Thank you so much. I've been messing with the volumes. I wonder if anyone can tell. I hope my voice is loud enough. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes my fiance, she says, "You're talking too loud." And I say, "Thank you." You know, that is something. You know what I need to start doing? I forgot. I need to start bringing improv exercises into the Mega Church of Joy. Duh. What a duh. What a major duh moment for the Deuce man. So here's an exercise that we do in improv. Hold on, let me just, excuse me. There's also supposed to be sort of like a meditation section. Maybe I'll start doing that. That could be good. I could start doing that. Oh, I've got two musics going at the same time. Now, in improv, follow me here, okay? There is an exercise that we do that I think is a very good one, and it's something that we could all practice today in our lives. So we say, thank you. So what happens is you stand across from one person and you say, "Here, I got you this lamb shank." And then the person says, "Thank you." And then they end. So they say yes by saying thank you. And then they end by saying, "I'm going to use it for the dinner for my family tonight." And then that person puts it down. It's not real. So they just go, "Here, I put it there." And then they say back to you who gave them the lamb shank, they say, "Here, I got you this jet ski." And then the other person says, "Thank you. I am going to re-gift it to my teenage son who has been begging me for a jet ski." And really all that exercise is just practicing thank you. Because to be thankful is to be that much closer to joy. We on the Mega Church of Joy achieve joy by heightening our relationship with fear. We know that fear is our God. Fear is the one who keeps us from doing the thing. Why don't you type into the chat something that fear has been holding you back from? And we will talk about it, and we will understand that our fear is nothing more than a dick that's keeping us from living a joyful life. Isn't that interesting? You know, I'm so grateful for everyone who's here today. I'm so grateful for Mo, and I'm so grateful for everyone else who I do not know who they are. Now, you new attendees are at the Mega Church of Joy, which is a non-secular spiritual pursuit based on the tenets of quality improvisational comedy and psychedelic drugs. I'm here broadcasting live from my hot tub by the sea. Really, it is a hot tub that is in the sea in Boca Raton, Florida. Now, what is something that you are afraid of? Again, I understand people are not chatting, and maybe it's because they're so turned on by me that their hands aren't free, if you know what I'm saying. Is it too early for that? Okay. We already have done a sermon that was improvised based on the Birkenstock. I don't normally do this, but there are some new viewers coming in. If you would like to type a suggestion into the chat, I will improvise it into a sermon of spirituality and motivation. If you have any questions about the beautiful religious pursuit of the Mega Church of Joy, I'm happy to answer them. I'm so welcoming of my new flock. And it is not my flock per se, because I am the leader sometimes, but not all of the time. Because if I was the leader all of the time, I would be being a dick. And the number one rule of the Mega Church of Joy, say it with me, is don't be a dick. That's right. All right, I can see that people are scared. They're afraid. And that's okay. Now, if you are interested in learning more about the Mega Church of Joy, you can go to YouTube and you can search for the Mega Team of Improv. Mega Team of Improv. I think Mega Team is 2 words. That is the one-man show that was the origination of what you are seeing right here today. It's a pretty great show, if I do say so myself. I've got to get more bits because now I have recurring people coming and I'm doing the same bits over and over again. And not enough people are putting stuff into the chat for me to improvise. But that's okay. That is okay. All right. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to go to the energy corner. That's right. We're going to go to the energy corner. I'm getting afraid of my photo taken at the DMV, a picture I'll have to present to TSA for the next 8 years. Getting ready for that dreaded test now. Okay, all right. Let's talk about that fear. Now, Mo, I'm not going to say what's the worst that could happen. No, absolutely not. That would be unsupportive. What I'm going to say is, I hear your fear, and I punch it in the dick. I take your fear that is totally valid, and not because I think that it is invalid, I punch it in the dick. I take your fear of the photo, your concern that you might not look good enough, that in some way, perhaps that concern stretches to feelings about your appearance and your self-worth, and I take those fears and I punch them directly on top of their dickhead. I know that you are going to be paying attention to your appearance, and it is potentially going to be a drag because in society we are consumed with this idea of our appearance, and we are consumed with this idea of what others might think of us. And I hear you. And I accept you, and I support you, and I am grateful for you. And I am connecting with you in this moment as I punch those fears in the dick. For fear is nothing more than a giant dickhead. And I am not saying that you need to no longer be fearful of going to the DMV and having your photo taken, and that being the photo that you then use for the next 8 years as you go to any TSA checkpoint. What I am saying is, you have already taken a step towards joy simply by naming your fear, Mo. Because when we name our fears, we expose our God's greatest weakness. And that is that fear is afraid himself. Fear wants us to be like him. Fear's greatest desire is that we stay stuck in the muck with him because he's so afraid to be alone. He's so afraid to be judged. He's so afraid to feel shame. And so once we flip the script And we realize that we can walk over to fear and we can put our arm around fear and we can say, fear, I hear you. And I don't know if it's going to be okay, but I am here with you, connecting in this moment. Once we begin to have empathy for fear, even though fear guides us and fear keeps us from joy, once we understand that we can have empathy for every single person, no matter what they have done, no matter how bad they have been, we do not have to like the things that they do. We do not have to accept and encourage the things that someone might do out of total fear, hurting others, lashing out, hating, judging. But what we know is that when we personify our fear and we realize that our fear is just a bully who inside is moments away from crumbling and breaking down at any time, because fear is fear itself, we can then embrace our fear and give love to our fear, connect with our fear, support our fear by embracing it. And when we hug fear tight, we look over fear's shoulder to a world, a reality free of free of judgment, free of shame, free of disgust, free of pain, and full of joy. Let's all take a deep breath as we think about our fears. And we release them. As we embrace our fears, hug them tight, and say, I am not going to let you rule my world today. Yes, I know you will be there with me at the DMV, fear. I know you will be right next to me as I march up and I, move my hair to the side. And I think to myself, is my one eye that is slightly smaller than the other going to show up if I lean this way a little bit? I know you'll be right there next to me, fear, okay? I get it. You're there all the time. You never leave my side, fear. But I will look at you and I will smile. I will smile directly into the camera. I will smile directly into my fear. And I will say, fear, you are here. You are near. And you are dear. Now please, make the way clear. So I hope that you can think about this today as you go to the DMV. Now, did you purchase a new car or move to a new state, Mo? I'm curious to know what happened. We were just talking about our fears, everyone, and we were saying them out loud into the chat, because when we speak our fears, what we really do is we recognize that our fear is nothing more than a bully. And then when we say our fear out loud, we put our arm around our fear, because our fear is really actually very scared itself. And it's communicating its fear to us, and then it gets inside our body and it fills us with shame and judgment and self-loathing and, self-awareness in a way that might, break us down and keep us from enjoying life. And so that's what we do here on the Mega Church of Joy. We practice our relationship with fear. And we use the tools of quality improvisational comedy to do it. Support, energy, commitment, giving, connection, and gratitude. Sigekuk. Sigekuk is what we practice every single day in every single scene that we are in with our friends, our neighbors, our coworkers, and ourselves. We support ourselves. We realize that we are in control of our energy. We can be angry, or we can be happy, or we can be low energy, or we can be high energy. Just as the improviser knows that when they step out into the scene of comedy, that they are in control of their energy. And we give, just as the improviser gives gifts to their scene mates, and that helps move things along. Okay, Mo has to renew their license in person because their current photo is quite old. And Mo is also saying that Mo is old. Well, look, age is just a number, baby. But wait a second, that wasn't me listening. I so apologize. That was me doing the opposite. That was me yes-butting. Yes, and yes, you are old, and I hear you. Whew, geez, it's hard. It's hard. We sometimes have trouble. Look, it's an ongoing thing, right? Wouldn't someone in any other religion say that it's a lifelong pursuit, that faith is some, don't these preachers, they say stuff like, faith is a well that may run dry, but we always have to dig a little deeper. Or they might say something like, sometimes I may be questioning my faith, but faith is a lifelong pursuit, and it is a struggle, and it is a tension with our original sin, or some, other stuff like that, right? It's all just improv, religion. It's all just improv. We're all just improvisers. But so, anyway, we know that we have a relationship with fear that we manage, with support, with energy, with commitment. Just as the improviser commits to playing a spaghetti monster after their scene partner calls them a spaghetti monster after they entered the scene thinking, I'm going to be a high-priced lawyer. And then, Jane on your team steps out and she goes, you initiate something, and then she goes, oh, well, spaghetti monster, I told you needed to pick the kids up by 3. And you're like, God damn it, Jane, I don't want to play some fucking dumb idea of a spaghetti monster. But you know what? You move on from that and you say, guess what I'm here to do? I'm here to commit to whatever is happening right now in the scene. And that's what we do in life as improvisers, as members of the Mega Church of Joy. Whatever scene we're in life, we commit to it. Because hell, we're there, aren't we? We showed up. We give as a way of dealing with our fear relationship. We give people gifts because that is how we have success in a scene, just as that's how we have success in our relationship, by giving people gifts. And I'm not talking about frankincense and myrrh. No, baby. I don't even remember the third one. I guess it's gold. I guess it's something that makes more sense in a modern sense. Gold, we've all heard of that. Frankincense and myrrh, what the hell are those things? But we give gifts because, well, that just greases the skids of connection, doesn't it? So you might say, oh, let me get the door for you. Or you might say, oh, that was a great presentation, Bob. Or you might say, hey, I was at the donut shop and they gave me a free donut, and here, I want to give it to you. You give gifts. And you connect as a way of overcoming your fear, working on your relationship with fear, right? We've connected today. Mo talked about their fear. And we connected over it. And it became, I hope, Mo, it didn't have to, but I hope it did, less strong. And we are grateful. And that is the sixth way in which we manage our relationship with fear, with gratitude. Because there is so much to be afraid of, just as there is also so much to be grateful for. I could do this all day, every day, and I guess I will. I guess this is my life now. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, look, I am so grateful for you. I have a big request for everyone who's here. Would you please like, follow, subscribe, and then go to my socials? You know what I need to do? It seems very actually, it seems like the most religious thing possible to put up a big sign that says, worship me. But what I would say, I'm going to get a tip bucket. I'm going to have my fiance figure out how to monetize this thing. Not because I'm doing this to take your money, but because I'm doing this to hopefully take your money. So, but what would really be great is if you could help me out by following, liking, subscribing. You can go to Instagram and go to Enlighten_public. You can go to TikTok and go to Public Enlightenment. You can go to Twitch and go to Public Enlightenment. You can go to YouTube and go to @public_enlightenment. You get it. Hell yeah, Mo. I love Mo. Mo is so cool. And the other anonymous person here, I love you too, but Mo, you get it. Mo gets it. I don't think I know you personally as the human being who is not Deuce, who is just doing this Deuce character. And that is so wonderful. That makes me so full of joy because it means that so far I have been able to connect with another person, a stranger, over the idea that fear is our God, and on the other side of fear's embrace is joy. And that is so goddamn beautiful. Yes, we kicked fear in the dick. We punched fear in the dick. That is what we do every day. We kick and punch fear in the dick. And then we say, we're sorry, fear. That was probably rude of us to take our hand and foot and directly punch it into the top of your penis head. So if you could please go like and subscribe and follow, you may find that there's a lot of content about news and information, but that's because my hobby is trying to make the world better by getting us to understand that our information ecosystem is like a giant sea full of toxic shit. And so it's a full court press here in the public enlightenment sphere of programming, where we get people to acknowledge their fears and work towards joy and connect, just as I dwell far north. I don't even know what I said. There's a massive delay between my Twitch stream and my YouTube stream, and so I don't even know what I said, but you dwell far north. That's okay. You don't have to be here in person. You don't have to be here in person. And you can dwell wherever you do dwell. And you can go to that DMV. Now, please like, subscribe everywhere, all around the global Public Enlightenment brand. We've got a third show that will be debuting soon. It's called Drinking Alone with Brian Hansberry. That'll be in the afternoons. And it'll involve me drinking beer and doing really dumb bits. We'll have a great time doing that together. And so I'll leave you today with that humble request, and also to tell you once again about the symbol of the megachurch of joy. That's right. I should probably figure out, I'll get it up here. I'll put it in there. I'll get it hanging next to me so that everyone can see it when I reference it. But the symbol is an incomplete circle because we know that fear, our God, keeps us walking the same patterns in life because it keeps us from doing the thing, from breaking free and experiencing joy. So as we work those patterns over and over that fear keeps us in life, we build up walls that prevent us from connecting with others, from being grateful for others and being grateful for the scene that we're in and committing to it. And so what we know as improvisers, which we all are, whoever is watching, is that we can break free from the ruts and patterns that fear creates for us. And we can enter a new scene at any moment where there is the possibility for joy. I love you, you love me. We're a happy family. Follow the fear. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, cheap viewers on streambo.com. How does it know? Spam. Bye-bye, spam. Bye-bye, Mo. Bye.